Hello, my name is Taisha. I have been on Zepbound for 64 weeks and in maintenance for 38 weeks. My highest weight was 216 pounds. My starting weight on Zepbound was 183 pounds, and I weighed in this morning at 127 pounds. So things have been going well. I um I am on 5 milligrams. I started off on 2.5, took it for 4 weeks, titrated up to 5 and kinda coasted on that for the entire time. And then, about a month and a half, 2 months ago, I experimented based off the recommendation of my provider at that time on going back down to 2.5 milligrams, which just wasn't a good fit for me, so I'm staying at 5. And 5 milligrams is considered one of Lily's maintenance doses, so I am okay with that, and I plan to be on it indefinitely. When I started, I had no desire to track or do anything like that. When I had a DEXA scan done and realized that from the January before starting until that March, which was about a month after starting, I had lost quite a bit of muscle, and so that was not the goal. So I knew I needed to start tracking things. So if you're someone who does not want to track or you feel like that's overly restrictive, there's a part of me that understands, but it's a lot easier to know what you need to do if you're tracking things. And it doesn't have to be something that you're doing for the rest of your life. You could be tracking just to get an idea, again, of what you're getting in, making sure you're getting enough protein, fiber, a balance of the nutrients that you need. So that's my 2 cents about that. And that's the reason I started tracking. And so from then, I have been consistently with each DEXA scan gaining some muscle. So it's working for me. Now, in December, I did have a DEXA scan done. And even though I had lost more fat, I lost a little bit of muscle. And for me, I was just like, I don't want to lose anymore. And I had already been in maintenance. So the only thing that I changed was adding some creatine. And I get asked this frequently. So I figured I'd have it here. This is the kind that I use, and it's Thorn. And I just get it from Amazon. And I'll post a link, and it will be an affiliate link. But if you don't want to click on the link, that's okay. It's Thorn Creatine. So since then, each DEXA scan that I've had performed shows that I've been consistently building muscle. So that's with that being the only change, that is what showed me that this is something that's working for me. So that's why I'm taking it. I don't take any other supplements other than vitamin D, and that's prescribed, and I take that once a week. As far as hormone replacement therapy, I am a perimenopausal woman, and I had a hysterectomy back in 2016, and my ovaries were left behind. So it would be very difficult for me to go by the normal um, key of missing a menstrual cycle. So my doctor did some labs, and they went by my symptoms, and I was able to start, and I'm on estrogen and testosterone. So the estrogen patch is called estradiol. I'm on point 0.1, and I do that twice a week. And then the testosterone is a gel, and I apply that every day. I have not had any side effects or any issues from that. What's been nice is it has eliminated completely my night sweats. They used to be terrible. And so far, that I'm at this optimal combination where I'm not struggling with that. So when I started my journey, it took me 2 weeks to get to where I was like, "All right, I'm gonna start strength training." I felt, excited. I know I was seeing that number go down, and this is before I realized it was muscle, but nonetheless, it it motivated me. Like, I was excited to strength train. So I started doing a program by Kira Mitlow, and it was called the Body Recomp 2.0 series. So I did that, and then I moved on to another program, and I just kept going. Now, last year, the only day that I missed, and when I say missed, like I was scheduled to do it that day and just didn't, was the day of the eclipse. And I just didn't feel like it. Now, what I'm looking back and realizing is it could have been a form of self sabotage because in the past, it would just take me missing one day to completely derail me. And when that didn't happen, the next day I just got up and I did my workout. I was like, okay, so it doesn't have to be all or nothing. And I was pretty excited about that. And that kept me going. So what I needed to do was come up with something so that that wouldn't happen again. Right. And I tell myself, just do 5 minutes. So I want to tell you, doing 5 minutes is better than nothing. So on those days, which will come when you don't feel like doing anything, just do something. Just try. Just try 5 minutes. And if you really just are absolutely against it, then stop after 5 minutes. But I can tell you, so far I have not. Now, that doesn't mean that there won't come a time in the future, but so far I've been able to just, once I get to that 5 minute point, I just push through. And I'm not necessarily clock watching, like, oh my gosh, it's been 5 minutes. Should I stop? It's just kind of one of those things where I get started and I just go. So, and I also pick out programs that are realistic for me. I don't want to work out for or strength train for an hour or anything like that. I have no desire to do that. So I don't. I pick relatively short ones. The one that I'll be starting tomorrow, okay, depends on what day you're watching this. Well, today is Sunday, May 11th, and it's Mother's Day. And if you're a mother, happy Mother's Day. So tomorrow, which is May 12th, I'll be beginning a new program by Lift with C, and it's going to be from her playlist of 30-minute full body workouts. And there are 21 workouts there, but I'm only doing this one for the next 6 weeks. And I shared that in the community tab. So the actual workout that I'll be doing, which is right there, that's what I'll be doing for the next 6 weeks. And then I'll probably switch to one of the other ones. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see when I get there. But I finally decided that that's what I'm going to do. And what I just finished up with on Friday, which was, let's see, today's the 11th, 10th, 9th, May 9th, was the 15-minute standing strength series by Kira Mitlow. And I enjoyed that as well. And that was 5 days a week. So that's going to be something different. My workouts are going to be a little bit longer, but it's only going to be 3 days a week. Plan to continue with my daily walks on my walking pad, and it's just 30 minutes. So I walk anywhere between 3 miles an hour and 4 miles an hour. Lately, I've kind of been just alternating between 3 and 3.5. What I've added in the last month and a half, maybe 2 months, is a weighted vest, which I have right here. I purchased that on Amazon and I've been walking with that every day since I got it. So initially, I said that I was going to go up after 30 days. And then I realized you're doing it again. I've had this history of feeling like I've got to do more. I've got to do more. And so if you're like that, I want you to know it's not necessary, right? There's no reason for me to go up unless I get to a point where I feel like that's not doing anything for me. And my walks are more about movement and not necessarily a workout, right? And so if I start doing all of that, I'm going to change it from something like a leisurely walk to get movement in to something more than what it is. And so I have to be mindful and intentional with that. Like, okay, it's okay to walk 3.5 miles an hour with a 10-pound weighted vest. Like, there's no award that I'm getting for going faster and harder, right? So if you're like that, I want you to remember, take it easy. You know, that phrase, less is more, is a valid thing. Okay. And it's better to be consistent doing a little less than doing a whole bunch here and there. Right. And it makes me think of also the tortoise and the hare analogy, right? The hare is doing all this crazy stuff, going super fast, and then out of gas, right? Sleeping. And then the tortoise just kind of goes on by. So be a tortoise. Be a tortoise. Don't try to be a hare. Okay. All right. So when I started strength training last year, I created an Instagram page. And that was just for the sole purpose of being initially an exercise diary, and then it became a food and exercise diary. So All of my workouts are posted on there as reels and they're sped up. So when I first started, I do like a clip from a workout. And then I want to say maybe after a week or so, I started posting just the whole entire workout, but a sped up version of it. And again, it's about accountability. And I like seeing that. So it's it's more for me than it is for you, but it's there if you want to see it. So that's it for the workouts. And let's talk about what I eat. I am a vegan. I eat a whole food plant-based diet, and that is primarily what it consists of, right? I do have some processed things like tofu, and honestly, anything not in its original state is processed to a degree. I don't really consume ultra processed foods. So that's been working out really well for me because that was something that I consumed in excess before. Way too much, way too much. And I don't believe that they're good for you. So all of my meals are posted on Instagram as well. And what I do is so for each meal, for example, breakfast this morning, I took a picture of it because at the end of the day, I put a collage of pictures of everything that I ate and I post that on Instagram. But in the stories, I'll usually do a video and I'll say what's in it. Um, there are some times where it's just some music and I'll type it in. But for the most part, I'll say like, this is peanut butter and frozen blueberries and chopped walnuts. So I'll tell you what's in it. So if you're interested in that, that's where it is. There was a time where I was posting doing screenshots and typing up stuff. And I don't want to do all of that. And for me, taking the picture, and that's another thing and not doing too much, right? This is sustainable for me. I don't want to have to take 5 to 6 minutes of doing all these things before I can sit down and eat my food. So I've got this down where it's super quick and I'm sharing it and I'm feeling good. I'm documenting it and I'm able to eat my food when it's still hot. So that works. Um, I created a Facebook page recently, and that's basically like a one-stop shop. It has everything from Instagram, and I share all my YouTube videos there as well. So if you're a person that's big on Facebook, but maybe not necessarily on Instagram, you can see in the Facebook story. Now, I'm not talking about my personal Facebook page. There's one that I created called Simply Taisha page, and it's just for that. It's just for all things Simply Taisha. So you're welcome to follow me there. And that again has all of that information. If I could give you 5 tips to be successful on this medication, one, slow and steady. Slow and steady. Get rid of that mindset of I've got to lose 50 pounds in a month. It's unrealistic and it's unsustainable. So even if you were able to do something like that, which is not a healthy way to do it, that's not going to be sustainable for you. Okay. So just remember, so slow and steady. Two, you've got to eat. The great thing about this medication can also be a problem for people, and that's not eating enough. It is very important to make sure that you're eating enough. You want to be in a deficit, but not so severe where you're losing 5 or more pounds a week. Like that's a lot. That's a lot. And I can tell you that's not only fat loss. So make sure you're eating enough. Three, make sure you're getting a good amount of fiber in. And something that's a big struggle for people on these meds is not being able to go to the bathroom. So you want to make sure you're getting enough fiber in your diet. And that brings me to number four, making sure you get enough water. Water is good for you. Now, I'm not going to tell you to be like me and don't drink anything else other than water, but make sure you're getting water in. And if you're someone that doesn't drink a lot of water, build up. Don't think that you have to go from barely drinking any water to a gallon. And there's nothing that says that you need to drink a gallon of water a day. That's just what I do. So I think that's important to share with you as well. So you want to make sure you're getting in enough fluid so you can keep things moving. So that fiber and that water combination, good. Five, move your body. Move your body. Find something that you enjoy and do it. Because if you're trying to force yourself to do things that you absolutely hate, it's going to be difficult to push through when the days come and you don't feel like doing anything. So if you're doing something that you actually enjoy, you'll be more inclined to continue with it. So those are my 5 tips to help you be successful. I go live every Monday. So it's a live stream and it's here at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So every single Monday. And I would love for you to join me there. For my members, I have just a members only live stream, and that's on Thursdays. And that is also at 7 p.m. So, you know, if you're a member, you get Monday and Thursday, and if not, on Mondays. And I focus on mindset shifts, habit change. Now, for the last few weeks, the Monday ones have kind of been just GLP-1 focused, maybe a little bit of mindset, but, just going over things like how to properly use the medication, um, when to know you need to go up. And I can make some separate videos for that. But those are just the kind of things we talk about during the live stream. So, um, join me. I have multiple playlists. There's one that says start here. That one is my weight loss journey, and that's starting at week 4 up until I think I did it for 26, 27 weeks in that playlist. And then you have my maintenance playlist, which is, you know, ongoing. There's also one titled Zepbound 101 that just has one video, and I will be adding some more to it. And I also have the daily dose of mindset, and I've been doing that every single day since I want to say the last day of February. And I really enjoy that. And they're just little, I call them bite sized tips for mindset shifts because I really believe that is the most important part of this journey, right? These mindset shifts. And we have to move from the way we did things before and do something different this time. And the reason I say that is whatever you did before may have worked for you, but you're back here again. So it wasn't sustainable. And that's what we want this time. We want it to be sustainable so that we don't have to start over and over and over again. And you're going to have slip ups along the way. That's okay. So that's basically what the daily dose of mindset is about, helping you work through these things. And they're short. So they're anywhere between, they're not YouTube shorts, they're just short videos. And they're anywhere from it's a range of 2 to 5 minutes, but they're kind of, normally falling in the 2 to 3 minute range. So they're meant to be that way. They're meant to be short, something you can just start your day with. And I post those by 6 o'clock every morning, Monday through Friday, and by 10 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday. So those are there for you. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. I'd love to know if you're on Zepbound, how's that going for you? And if you want to talk about it more, feel free to join the live on Monday and you can talk to others in the community that are also on these meds. So I find it inspirational. I think it's helpful and we get a lot out of it. So just check it out. If it's not for you, that's okay. So that is it. I just want to say again, if you are a mom, happy Mother's Day. And I hope today is great. And yeah, I want to leave you with this. We can share our journeys, but we should never compare them. Bye.